This one for WWE champions. Pay to win like every day, yeah.
I don't play mobile games.
Funny how they still think I'm a broke man.
Then I'm broke.
Even though I be pulling Hogan's. I spent like 40 grand on a couple thousand pictures of some sweaty men.
And then our final news story of today is that Phil Spencer was interviewed. And here's what he said. You ready? The layoffs that have happened at Activision are necessary because Xbox is a business and it somehow has to be profitable. He thinks that the console market is currently not growing and that Xbox's brand pivot to games on more than one platform is a path to growth. Allow me now to read word for word what he said, and then I'm actually going to give you my opinions on this. So here's his first big statement. I will say every decision we make today and tomorrow is for the better of Xbox, said Spencer. I know sometimes things get weaponized and there's some evil in the background that's making us do things. Phil hates exclusives. That's why we're like we're on PlayStation and Switch now. Every decision we make is to make Xbox stronger in the long run. It doesn't mean everyone's going to agree with every decision that we make, but it is fundamental for how we make decisions. This notion that Xbox can only be this one device that plugs into a television isn't something we see in the Gen Z research, because nothing else is like that for them. Some of them will have an iPhone, some have an Android, but all of the games on everything are the same. I can still get to TikTok on both of those devices, at least for now. All of their stuff is available wherever you want. So for Xbox, our brand pivot as we attract and maintain relevance with a younger audience is Xbox is a place where I can find the great games that I want. I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm going to keep reading word for word what he said in this interview. Okay? It's a little bit of both, said Spencer. But I'll say the thing that has me most concerned for the industry is the lack of growth. When you have an industry that is projected to be smaller next year in terms of players and dollars, and you get a lot of publicly traded companies that are in the industry that have to show their investors growth, because why else does someone own a share of someone's stock if it's not going to grow? The side of the business that then gets scrutinized is the cost side. Because if you're not going to grow the revenue side, then the cost side becomes challenged. We're a business. I've said this over and over. I don't get any luxury of not having to run a profitable, growing business inside of Microsoft. And we are that today. But just across the industry, you mentioned it. And in sitting here at GDC, because this was at Game Developers Conference where he was being interviewed, I reflect on friends of mine in the industry that have been displaced and have lost their jobs. And how I don't want this industry to be a place where people just can't with confidence build a career. So that's why I keep pivoting back to how does this industry get back to growth? But to your question, for us at Xbox or any of the teams that are out there, is it really an outcome of an industry that's not growing? It can grow and it will grow again, but you see this time right now, and the implications have human impact, and we should all reflect on that and think about it. Well, first of all, Mr. Spencer, it's not our job to reflect on it and think about it. It's yours. You're in charge. You're the one who's responsible. So if you're not growing, why? And if you can't figure that out, step down. It's that simple. You're in charge of the ship. If the ship is going off the edge of a waterfall and everyone's about to drown, and you're the one controlling the ship, do you think maybe someone else should take the reins? I'm just saying, like, you're in charge. We should all sit back and reflect. That's your fucking job. That's who you are. Literally, that's your position. Right? So when you hear shit like this, it's PR speak. What is he saying? We're a company and companies need to make money. And if we're not making money, we still have to make money. So we have to cut people. Wrong. Wrong. That's completely incorrect. Okay? People invest in companies for long-term results. People don't immediately invest in stock and think, tomorrow I'm making a profit. That's not even the point. Someone who's a smart investor goes for long-term investment. Sometimes you'll invest in a stock that's a long shot, but you think that projected down the line, it'll get some money and you'll make a big gain on it, right? People don't buy a stock thinking tomorrow I'll make money. He's literally saying, well, if we don't just make money immediately right now, right? No one will ever invest in us ever again. That's completely fucking false. What you need to do is prove to people that your company has a plan that long term you are going to be profitable. He is the CEO of Xbox and he doesn't even understand fucking business or investments. I mean, like, it's insane what he's saying. Literally, it's nonsensical. This is complete short-term thought that doesn't work for any kind of a long-term industry. He's making judgments in his company and everything Xbox based off of we must make immediate profits now no matter what. And that's not how a good business operates at all. There should be a long-term plan in effect that you can prove to investors it's worth it to come invest with us. Here's why. I have this in place, this in place, this in place, this in place. Not, oh, well, right now, the whole industry is seeing some shrink, so therefore, we have to cut all of our jobs so we can still pay out money to the shareholders. That's stupidity. You know what? If you have a ton of shareholders where all they care about is immediate profits every moment, you have a bad group of shareholders. They're not going to have your back when you need them. So that's fucked up. Well, it means you misrepresented your company as a get-rich-quick company instead of a company that will actually benefit people in a portfolio of long-term investments. You fucked up. Sorry that I have a finance background and I know about this shit. He doesn't even know how to run his company. He's making public statements that are cringe in relation to anything realistic when it comes to business. And this guy is in charge of the whole fucking company. Unreal. Absolutely unfucking real. I hate to say this, guys, but this just goes to prove, again, I said it again and again, the people who are in charge of these companies don't even understand the industries they're talking about, right? How often do you think there's going to be a giant, explosive, profitable boom in console gaming? Maybe once every console generation, there's a spike. It's not going to be constant money pouring out of it, but there will be times when there will be giant profitable streaks. Do you think that Xbox's strategy recently is working? Buy up every fucking third-party studio and then literally just be hands-off and let them do whatever they want and pump out unfinished messes like Redfall? Do you think that's going to make money? But that's what Phil Spencer's doing, and now that that's failing, he's saying, well, we still have to make money somehow, so cut everyone's jobs. No, Phil. Here's what you do. You get fired, and someone else steps into your role who knows how to run a company, and then you don't have to do that anymore. Someone who actually is take charge instead of sit back and act like a frat boy and dress like you're in college, right? Someone who can actually fucking put their foot down and say, here's what we need to do with our games. They have to be good. They have to qualify these criteria that gamers are looking for. We have to be sure that we're hitting these markers so that people will want to play our games on our consoles. Not, oh, well, the games industry's in a downturn, so I guess we just cut jobs until it comes back. You're a fucking idiot. Phil Spencer is a fucking idiot. What he's saying is ridiculous. I read this article this morning. I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. But I hate to say it, but, the whole corporate America in particular is an industry where people fail up. And what I mean by that is these people are horrible at their jobs, right? They do horrible things and they're still rich and they still succeed somehow because it's like once you're at that level, you literally never get any accountability for what you do. You just continuously get paid. It's like, what the fuck? There you go. Michael Caine just said something very interesting in the chat. You ready? He says, there's an old interview clip with Steve Jobs. He explains why companies fail because salespeople get promoted to decision-making positions and salespeople don't care about quality. You got Yves Guillemot over here saying Sea of Thieves, excuse me, I said Sea of Thieves, that's incorrect. Skull and Bones is a quad A game worth $70. The game is a pile of dog shit, but he says that because he's a salesman. You got Phil Spencer over here telling everyone, oh, all these studios we're acquiring are great and everything's good. Then he completely hands off with anything, and all the games they pump out are dog shit. So then he says, oh, well, our industry's in a downturn, so we have to lay off people to be profitable. You're in charge. You are the people in charge of the companies. And the people who are getting punished are the people below you for your bad decisions. Do you see a problem with that, perhaps? Right? Really? Listen, if I make a bad decision, and if I do shitty things here on stream or whatever, I'm the one who gets punished for it, correct? I'll be the one. Imagine if I said something awful on a stream that was terrible, and then other people suffered for it, not me. I'm fine. I stay where I am, and I just keep, I get still be a YouTuber, but everyone else gets hurt. Imagine that. That's the positions these people are in. They can literally just sit here and make mistake after mistake after mistake, and their companies just continue on, and they continue on, but all the people under them suffer for it. That's pretty insane, don't you think? That drives me bonkers. That you have people in charge. I mean, I've already had issue with Phil Spencer over the years with some of the dumb things he said. I keep telling you guys, you can't trust the guy because he's essentially just like we just said, he's a salesman. He's not a CEO. He's not a leader. He's a salesman. He's put there to the forefront to push stuff. And then when it all fails, he just smoke and mirrors you to a different direction or something else and makes up an excuse or whatever. It's nonsense. The guy's a joke. I mean, why is Xbox right now, even though they have comparable hardware to the PlayStation 5, why are they so far behind this console gen? Can you think of a reason to have an Xbox besides Game Pass? I mean, Game Pass is a great value. I like the Xbox controller better than the PS5 controller. But if all games are on both consoles, and PS5 has a few awesome exclusives, why would you not want the PS5? Correct? So unless he can fucking figure out a reason to own his console, there will always be a downturn of console sales this generation. I mean, it's his fault. I honestly don't know why people like him so much. Why? Because he has a smile. Because he, again, because he looks like a friendly guy. Again, because he looks like a friendly college guy who wants to hang out with you and play video games. He was in charge of Microsoft during the Xbox One era, and now the Xbox Series S and X era when it's on a downturn. You understand? He's not doing the right choices. He's not doing the right choices. He's doing all the wrong choices for Xbox. And it's sad because the hardware is good. There's nothing wrong with that console. I like playing games on it. It's his fault. He doesn't know how to run the company. And the thing he just said there blows my mind. He says, so we want people to think of Xbox as the place to play all the good games, but it doesn't have to be a console. Then what the fuck is it, you idiot? What is it? What are you talking about? Are you a third-party developer, or are you a first-party company that has a console that people want to play games on? You can't have it both ways. If you have it both ways, no one needs your console. You can't sell Xbox as a brand because the brand is the console. It's not a line of games. Right? What he says makes no fucking sense at all. He's an idiot. Anyway, it blows my mind. It gives me a headache that these people are in charge of these companies. What an interview at GDC. I mean, after that, I'm going to be honest with you guys. For all the people who are like gung-ho behind, Microsoft, I'll be honest, I have lost confidence in this company. Listen, I love my Xbox. I love Game Pass. I love the controller. Hell, I still get surround sound out of my Xbox, which I don't get out of my PS5. But, dude, you can't be a worse manager. You can't be a worse leader. I really can't imagine. I mean, the guy is such an inept idiot. He's like an oaf, bumbling around, slipping on banana peels and fucking making excuses for everything. He's ridiculous. He's like, at this point, it's like a comedian. He's not a fucking corporate leader. That is not how you run your company. Like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, it is what it is. I guess we'll continue to follow. I don't know how he thinks he's going to pull Xbox out of the fire when he's at GDC saying shit like that in interviews. All this does is kills consumer confidence. Imagine you're a shareholder of Xbox, right? And the CEO of the company you own stock in just said he believes there's an industry downturn, and the only way that he can give you money for your share is to fire employees. Would you want to continue to be invested in that company? Or would you say, wow, this sounds like a ship that's sinking. This sounds like a room that's on fire, and I need to get the fuck out, right? And he publicly said this in an interview. Why is he so stupid? Even if everything he says is true, it's still stupid to say it. Oh my God, right? Sometimes you have to be smart enough to realize that things need to be left unsaid. Phil Spencer's not smart enough. He's dumb. Yikes. Well, guys, that's what I got for gaming news today. Sorry that one was such a bummer. It really is a bummer for me. Because again, I like my Xbox console. I like the Series X. I think it's a superb console. There's nothing wrong with it. I like the idea of Game Pass. It pains me. It pains me to hear people who are in charge of this industry say dumb shit. It's like, seriously, it's like, this guy is like, it sounds like he just got pumped in and out of a college system, that they just taught him like textbook shit. And so that's all he knows. He has no insight. He has no experience, no wisdom. And he's been running Xbox for, what, a decade now? He has zero wisdom or any kind of knowledge in the industry. He's just still spouting out his textbook answers for everything that he learned in college. You know? That's not the fucking person to have as a leader. But he's got a nice smile and he's a good salesman, right? So he's the leader. Sounds like a plan, right?